Sister Laila live. Sister Laila live. Weekly for the show at the hour. At Sister Laila live. Sister Laila invite your friends and family. Make it cozy at Sister Laila.
Whoever's doing this. And by the way, what are you getting up here today? Let's talk about it.
Any other questions?
This is gonna be good.
Welcome to Ask Sister Laila Live.
And by the way, what are you getting up here today? Let's talk about it.
Wait a minute.
Time for the Ask Sister Laila live show.
This is
Lines
gonna
are
be
now
good.
open. 862-370-2838. Assalamu alaikum. Hot topic for this upcoming Ask Sister Laila live show. This Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Ustada Laila Nashiba, she will be addressing the older men chasing younger women to marry to feel young again. Walis and imams seeking new shahadas to marry to complete half their deen and more. You're not going to want to miss this show. Streaming on all major platforms. See you there, inshallah. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Ask Sister Laila live show. Alhamdulillah. I want to welcome all the new people that I have here as well. And just to let everyone know, we are streaming simultaneously on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on X, formerly known as Twitter, also on Rumble and on LinkedIn and Instagram. So, mashallah, you can join any of those platforms to be a part of the show. And also, if you have a question, you can type it on the screen. I can see everybody's question except for X or Twitter. For those of you on Twitter, I won't be able to see your questions. Twitter hasn't integrated that into the streaming platform yet. But if you are on Twitter and you do have a question, you can join our or send a question to our WhatsApp number or call in our WhatsApp number, which is 862 370-2838, not 39. Hold on, let me fix that. Hold on, I got 39. Hold on, let me type that again. Call in at, it's 862, right, guys? 862 370-2838. This is our WhatsApp number. Okay, or you can go to our website at www.sunnahfollowers.net, and you can use the chat, or you can join the Zoom. Click where it says Zoom if you want to use the microphone. If you go to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, there's a chat button. You can send your question that way, and it'll come straight to through our WhatsApp group, I believe. Nobody's ever done it, but I think it does. Or you can join our Zoom room directly and get on the microphone and ask your questions. And by the way, for those of you who do come into our Zoom room, please don't try to private message me, because I don't read private messages. And even if I wanted to, I can't, because I'm streaming. And even though the people in Zoom, it looks like I'm looking directly at you, I'm not. I'm looking at through a camera. That's the streaming camera. That's why I got my light here, trying to look nice. Okay, so don't private message me. You can type your question on the screen there, and Sister Fame will read it to me. Okay, and also for those of you who are in our WhatsApp group, If you have a question, you can type it in the WhatsApp group and I'll be able to see it, or somebody can read it to me as well. And for the other places, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble, all you have to do is type on the screen. And that includes Rumble, because I can see all of your typing there. In fact, this is the Rumble emblem I'm using. I got this little purple Laila Nashiba. This is the Rumble emblem because it's purple. Okay, so, subhanAllah, I was talking about earlier today how this has been a sad week for me. I get depressed this time of year anyway. Whenever September comes, it always brings this melancholy mood that lasts until after January 1st, to be honest. I stay in this melancholy mood until after January. But subhanAllah, this week has really been stressful because we had so many things happening here in America. That execution, the way they murdered that imam in Missouri, that was really on my mind because I'm a licensed paralegal. And I knew that I reviewed that case and they didn't have any evidence on this Muslim man. Even his family, the victim's family, even the victim's family spoke out and said that they knew that he didn't do it. There was no evidence for him to do it. And just based on pure racism, the governor of Missouri is a racist, ex-cop racist. They killed an innocent man. And that's just sad, to see how unjust the world is, because it's not just America, but America has always been known for its racism. America is the most racist country in the world. I don't care what nobody says. That's a fact. It's the land of the free, but it's also the land of the racy too. Okay, so, and that's been sad to see how this man was just murdered, without any proof. It's just sad. So that's depressing. And then like I told you guys earlier, when I look and see how the Muslims here in America, the famous personalities here, how they've sold the religion for the price of this dunya. That's depressing to see how we are deviating away from Islam and its truthfulness with the understanding of those companions, how we have people who call themselves scholars of this religion when they're not scholars of anything, but scholars of this religion, and they want to change the laws of Allah. They want to make things unlawful that Allah made lawful, and make things haram that Allah made haram, made, vice versa. That's just sad. So it's just a sad week, for me, but alhamdulillah, it's a wake-up call too. It just lets us see that our life on earth is short. Somebody was talking about how a lot of people are dying. I was looking at the khutbah given by one of the imams here, and he was speaking about how this year he buried more people in his community in this year than he has in any other year. Well, again, even death is a sign for those of us who believe in Allah and fear him. And I'm like this: Allah doesn't put a burden on any of us that's too great for us to bear. The war against Islam is already here. And the war is sent by Allah. Allah has sent this war to cleanse the earth. Why did Allah say? Allah say he sends war to cleanse the earth of bad, corrupt people. Muslims are bad and corrupt. I'm sorry. There's a lot of corrupt, bad Muslims in the world. That's the reality. The simple fact that we think that we can change Allah's laws, that we can take Allah's laws and divide them up into essentials and non-essentials. The fact that we think that we can make things legal and lawful that Allah said are not good and clean. Allah has to cleanse the earth of people like that. So that's why Allah has brought this war here. And again, Allah says he doesn't put a burden on any of us that's too great for us to bear. I look at it like this: war is something that a lot of us can't handle. You got to be strong in your iman to go through what those people in Gaza are going through every day, to see death around you constantly, to be living off the land, to not have clean water, no toilet, no luxuries. That's a rough existence. You got to be strong in your iman to deal with that, and bombs going off every day. So Allah says that he will never send a trial to us that we can't handle. So it only makes sense why there's so many Muslims dying right now. Allah said he's not going to test us with anything that we can't handle. So maybe the war, the bombs will start falling down here in America real soon. So for those of us that can't handle war, Allah's taking us out. He's taking our soul now. That's how I looked at it. You know, a lot of people in this brother's community have died. They can't handle. Maybe I'm dying. I could be dying next week. It just makes me look at it like maybe this is it for me, because Allah knows I can't handle that type of life. My anxiety is too bad. So my days are probably numbered here, because he ain't going to let me live to see no war like that. Okay. So that could be one of the reasons why a lot of good Muslims are dying in your community. Too much for them to handle. You know, we have to think like that. Because when I look around America and see these famous brothers who call themselves scholars trying to change Allah's laws and stuff to accommodate American lifestyle, that's sad. That's going to bring repercussions. That's going to bring a lot of serious repercussions down upon us all. And like Allah says, whenever we deviate away from his commands, he will punish us all. All. But he promises out of his mercy that when he raises us up on the day of judgment, he'll judge us individually. So it's getting ready to happen here in America. It's getting ready to happen. Get ready for it. All right. So we got a couple of questions here on the YouTube channel. Sister Fame, can you read them? Do you want to read them? The first one, can you see them?
Yeah. The first question is, what should you recite when you visit the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's grave in Medina?
Okay, you recite the same thing that you would say if you weren't visiting his grave. The same thing that we say when any a person dies is, you know, Inalallahi wa inalaihi rajiun, and then you make dua for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You ask Allah, you know, you give salams to him and make dua for him. You make dua for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's it. There's no certain rituals. Remember, we don't worship the dead. We don't make a big deal out of going to graves. Okay. There's no ritual. You know, you just send peace and blessings upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's all. That's all you do. You just send peace and blessings upon the Prophet. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, anytime that we make dua for him and ask Allah to, you know, to bless him, you know, the angels will come to him and let him know that so-and-so made dua for you, that so-and-so prayed for you. The angels let him know that. So that's all. Just make dua for him. That's all. Whether the same supplication you make when you ain't at his grave, you can make it there. We don't worship the graves. And by the way, I don't know if Saudi Arabia has changed, but they only got certain days that they allow women to go to the grave. When I went to make Hajj, they wouldn't even allow the women to see his grave because so much innovation now. People go and try to pray to him. Can y'all believe that? So much innovation, deviation that you could, if you are female, they only allow you to visit his grave on certain days at certain times, and you got to behave a certain way, or they'll have the police officers drag you out. So, word of warning to the sisters about that. Okay. Okay. Next question.
What is Riyaz al-Jannah? Someone told me it's place from paradise. It's the Prophet's mosque, and that person said praying it's 1,000 times better. That person gave this hadith. The Prophet said, between my house and my pulpit, there is a garden for the gardens of paradise, and my pulpit is on my fountain tank. Example, Al-Qatar.
Okay, a lot of you have to be very careful. This is what we were talking about in our other class. Most Muslims in America are Murji'a. They belong to that Murji'a sect. We have more mystic Sufis in America than any other sect. Okay? And a lot of the hadiths that the Sufis use are not authentic, number one. Number two, they are known to take hadiths. And also, if a hadith is authentic, they'll take a hadith and they'll twist it around to mean something that it doesn't mean. And this first question that Sister Saba asked is an example as to how the Sufis, the Murji'a, and they're also the people that don't believe that your faith, remember we talked about this group, they don't believe that your iman is contingent on your actions. So we have to be careful, but unfortunately, most Americans belong to that sect. Okay, that's why the Americans do what they do. Okay, first of all, this hadith, when the Prophet is talking about praying in his mosque, there's no mosque in paradise. There is no mosque of his in paradise. What the Sufis did was they took the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about the three great mosques in this world. He said the prayer in my mosque for the man, and this is for men, not women. None of the hadiths about prayers refer to a woman. And I want you guys to remember that any hadith that you read about praying inside a mosque or praying in congregation is for men, not women. A woman gets more blessings praying in her bedroom in her house by herself than anywhere else. Okay, but what these Sufis have done is taken a hadith where the Prophet speaks about the reward a person gets for praying in the mosque in Mecca, the mosque in Medina, and the mosque in Al-Aqsa. That has nothing to do with paradise. That has nothing to do with paradise. But that's an example as to how the Sufis will take hadiths and mess them up, change the meaning. Okay? If this is a mosque from paradise, then you tell them to bring the dalil. If there's a such mosque that's on earth that's greater than the Prophet's mosque, and it's from paradise, then there must be a clear nas, a verse from the Quran that says that, or a verse from authentic hadith. There is no, I repeat, there is no verse from the Quran nor hadith that is authentic on this planet that says that there's a mosque here from paradise. So that's a lie. So what you do is you tell the Sufi that told you that to bring the evidence. And this is the beauty of Islam. This is how Allah, somebody get that video off. Somebody get the videos off. Okay, this is one of the ways that Allah protects the religion, because Islam is based on clear evidence. It's not based on he say, she say. It's based on two sources, the Quran and the authentic hadith. So whoever told you that there's a place here on earth to pray in that's going to bring you better blessings than any other mosque in the world, tell them to bring the evidence. Okay? Then the second hadith, this is another example. There is the Al-Qatar. Al-Qatar is a river The river of paradise. It's not in this world. El Kauthar is not in this world. This is a river that exists in paradise that's for the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this hadith, the source of this hadith is Bukhari and Muslim. When the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, between my house and my pulpit is a river that runs over it, he's talking about up there. It's not a part of this world. El Kauthar is part of the unseen world. He was talking to the companions about where they were standing. You see where I live and you see where my pulpit is? I got a river that's promised to me in paradise that's as wider than that. That's what the prophet was talking about. That's not a part of this world. If it were a part of this world, we would be able to see it. Okay? So that's another example as to how the Sufis, the Murji'ah, the Mu'tazila will take hadiths, twist them around, take them out of context. That's why it's important to know the science of the hadith, the science of the Quran. You have to know the science of connectivity. You have to know the biography. You have to know the history and all of that. So no, that's not a part of this world. The prophet does have a fountain. His fountain is El Kauthar, but it's not a part of this world, Sister Saba. It's up there. And on the day of judgment, for those of us who get across that bridge, we will drink from the prophet's fountain. We will drink from his fountain. That will alleviate all the thirst and pain that we went through. And when the people are removed from the hellfire, they will drink from it too. And it will remove all the pain and suffering that they went through in hell. Okay, Allah knows best. So be careful of these people. When they tell you that it's inside the prophet's mosque, tell them to show it to you. Tell them if there's a mosque inside his mosque, near his grave, tell them to show you the grave. Because Saudi Arabia ain't going to let you go there anyway. But there is no mosque inside the prophet's grave. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, tells us that the prophet was buried. He wasn't buried in a mosque. He was buried in her house. And next to him is Abu Bakr. And next to him is Umar. That's it. It's a grave that has the prophet, Abu Bakr, and Umar. There is no mosque inside their grave. What is there a need to have a mosque for? They're no longer part of this world. The Prophet Muhammad is not a part of this world anymore. His soul is in the form of a green bird flying around the throne of Allah with Jesus, Moses, and all the other prophets. So why would there be a mosque inside his grave? This is Sufism. Y'all got to be careful of that stuff. These people crazy. Tell them to bring the dalil. Okay? Okay. You understand, Sister Saba? Yeah. Be careful of those Sufis. They got a lot of crazy stuff that they say. I mean, and again, this is why Allah is punishing us. We're just messed up. It's just sad. It just makes me sad. Yeah. Next question.
I have a question as to how to handle anxiety. Sometimes I get a lot of anxiety, which makes me have a panic attack.
Okay, this is a medical question, Brother Ahmad. I have panic attacks too. They got medicine for it. So what you need to do is go to a doctor. I can't help you with that. A lot of people suffer with anxiety, including me, and they do have medicine. I take pills. I take my medicine every day, and it keeps me from having a panic attack. So that's not an Islamic question. That's a medical question. And like the Prophet Muhammad said, when you're sick, when you are physically sick, go see a doctor. That's what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. If a person is physically ill, you're suffering with a physical illness, seek the attention of a physician. And the prophet would send the companions to the doctor. And they had a hospital attached to the mosque. Aslima's father was the physician and she was his assistant. And they would give the people medicine to treat whatever their sicknesses was. So that's not an Islamic question. That's and I know you're talking about all those hadiths about anxiety. Those are supplications. But those supplications are not going to help you because you're physically ill. The supplications that the prophet taught us for anxiety is for that which is in our head. That'll help for what we worry about. That's not help talking about panic attacks. Panic attacks and the sweating and all that other stuff we go through where we can't breathe, the hyperventilation. Those supplications are not going to work. That's a medical condition. Just like the Quran is a cure for the sicknesses of the heart, supplications are the cure for the sicknesses of the heart, guys. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because this is another problem. Muslims don't go to doctors, and we're going to be, Allah's going to hold you accountable. He's going to ask you, why didn't you take care of your body? Didn't you know that the Quran was only a cure for the sicknesses of the heart, not the physical sicknesses? Supplications are cure for the sicknesses of the heart. If you are sick, Allah says, go get treatment. So, Brother Ahmad, go to a doctor. They got a lot of medications they can give you for panic attacks. I take Lexapro. I take Lexapro every day, and I haven't had a panic attack in 3 years. Thanks to the Lexapro. Okay. All right. Next question. And they got some pills too. By the way, if you're suffering with anxiety, like say, for example, if I was going to go flying from here to Egypt, let's say, just in case I don't go into an anxiety attack, they got some pills that you can take that'll instantly stop your anxiety. It'll make you like this. So there's medicine for that, Brother Ahmad. Just go to the doctor. The supplications for anxiety are for the heart, not for your physical condition. Just like the Quran is a cure for the sicknesses of the heart, not physical body sicknesses. Reading the Quran, making dua is not going to take away your cancer. Allah sent the treatment for cancer. You have to go get the treatment. Reading the supplications can calm you. But if you are having panic attacks and the physical stuff, you better get some Lexapro. Seriously. All right. Yeah. Next question. Oh, really?
Next question.
Okay, go ahead.
The next question is, do I have to obey my husband if he tells me that he does not want me hanging out with my single friends anymore? And what if they are good practicing sisters?
Yes, because that's one of the rights that your husband has over you. Remember, I did a whole series on that. We obey our husbands and everything that Allah commanded us to obey them in. Okay. And Allah commanded us in that, because what are the rights of your husband? That's why I did that class on the rights of a husband. One of the rights that your husband has is not just to tell you who can come in his house, but he has a right to tell you who he don't want you hanging around. So maybe he doesn't want you around your single friends because he's got insecurities. But even so, he's justified in saying that. That's one of the rights your husband has over you. He can tell you he don't want you hanging around with that person because he feels that person might be a threat for you. That person might make hasad on you. That's his right, because that's his job. He's your protector. So he, as part of being your protector, he has a right to tell you that. So yes, you obey him in everything that Allah commanded you to obey him in. Now, if he told you he didn't want you coming to learn from Sister Laila, do you have to obey him in that? No, because seeking knowledge of your religion is an obligation that you owe to Allah. So you don't have to obey him in that, because every Muslim has to seek the correct knowledge of this religion. You're going to be held accountable. So he can't say, I don't want you learning from Sister Laila. Sister Laila's teaching by the Quran and Sunnah. He doesn't have that authority. But if he tells you, I don't want you hanging out with sisters because they're single, you obey him because he's your protector. And Allah knows best. Y'all understand the difference? Yeah, that's what that means. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her. We obey them, and everything Allah commanded us to obey them in. That's what we do as women. And that's one of his rights. Okay, the sister here is asking, yes, he has a right to tell you that he doesn't want somebody over his house. Yes. That's why you sisters, when y'all get married, y'all need to go about it the right way. Because if your husband tells you that he doesn't want your mother in your house, you got to listen to him. That's his house. Like Habiba, when her father, Abu Sufyan, came, she said, you can't come in the house of the prophet. Oh, no, I can't let you in here. He said, I'm your father. She said, he's my husband. Number one. Number two, he's the prophet. So you can't come in here. So yes, your husband has a right to tell you who he wants in his house and who he doesn't want. And yes, you have to obey him. Yes. That's why before you sisters get married, if y'all got close relationships with your families, try to get your families to meet this man before y'all get married, so it don't end up being a problem. The rights of husbands. Right. The rights of the husband fall in the category of providing, maintaining, and protecting. Your husband is your provider. He's your maintainer. He's your protector. So his rights fall in those three categories. Exactly. He's got to protect you from harm. He's got to protect the children from harm. Your mother could be a bad person. Sorry. Yes, your brother. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see her typing. She says her brother is LGBTQ. There you go. Exactly. If your husband told you that he doesn't want your brother visiting because he's LGBT, your husband's right. Your brother cannot come over and your children can't go around him. If he said he doesn't want your children around them, then you have to listen to that. And I don't know why you'd want your kids around your brother anyway. If my brother was LGBTQ, that's over. He would never see my kids. Yeah, that's your husband's right to protect. Exactly. Okay, and also, guys, that's why we have to be so careful when it comes to marriage. You sisters need to have a guardian, unless you're an older woman like Laila who knows yourself, okay? But for you sisters, you young girls, that's why y'all don't get married without your father, your guardian, okay? And we have a big problem that we're facing as a nation today here in America. Some of the sisters have come to me. Many of these sisters are from the East Coast, a few from the West Coast. And I have to say, these are African-American sisters. These are African-American sisters. And they've come to me with this thing about how the men in their communities, they don't believe in marrying women over the age of 40. In fact, some of the brothers in their community will even divorce their wives. Have y'all ever heard of this? They divorce their wives if their wives get too close to the age of 40. They will divorce their wives and marry 20 or 30-year-old women. They normally don't marry anyone over the age of 30. So the sisters brought this to me and they asked me, what Mathab is this? What sect is this that they're a part of? Because they thought that it was the norm. Well, I investigated it. There is no Mathab. There is no Mathab. Even though these people say this is the Hanafi Mathab, this is a lie. I did talk to Sheikh Jamali. Dr. Jamali, as you guys know, he specializes in the science of the Quran, the science of Hadith, and also the Mathab, the fiqh of the four Mathabs. Dr. Jamali said there is no Mathab that does this. The people that are doing this are of the Murji'ah. The Murji'ah sect that we talked about the other day. They call themselves Hanafiya. But just because they call themselves Hanafiya does not mean that they're following the way of Imam Hanafi. Because Imam Hanafi did not advocate that crap. Do you sisters understand? Imam Hanafi was upon the Quran and Sunnah. Imam Hanafi never told anybody that they can't marry a woman over the age of 40. Imam Hanafi never told anyone to divorce women before they get to 40. This is what the students of the students of the students of the students of Imam Hanafi came up with. Do you guys understand? So this is not a Mathab. This is not from Imam Hanafi. This is the Murji'ah group called the Hanafiya. And they have a big following here in America. The number one group is the Hanafiya. They believe in a lot of things that they claim Imam Hanafi said when he didn't say it. Okay? And what they're doing is they're telling you that a woman is no good after the age of 40. This is not Islam. And you sisters should be able to recognize that this is not Islam, because look at Khadijah, radiallahu anha. The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, married Khadijah. How old was Khadijah? She was an older woman. She was not 20. She was not 30. She was 40. She was 40 years old. So that should tell you that these brothers are not basing this on Islam. And out of all the wives the Prophet had, he loved her more than any of them, including more than Aisha. Khadijah, radiallahu anha, she is one of the most perfect women ever created by Allah. Khadijah, radiallahu anha, she was such a good woman that the Prophet didn't even need to take another wife with her. Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, many of the men would tease him and say, don't you want to marry another woman that's younger? And the Prophet would say, I don't need nobody. I got Khadijah. She's all I ever need as a wife, as a friend, as a supporter, and a confidant. So these brothers that are telling you sisters that once you turn 40, nobody's going to marry you, or once you turn 40, they're going to have to divorce you. These brothers are sick. It's not based on Islam. So that brings us to the question, why do they do that? Well, I'm going here to tell you, sisters, and these are African American brothers too. I'm going to tell you why they do it. It ain't got nothing to do with Islam. Why is it that these African American brothers who are 60 70 years old are marrying 20 and 30-year-old women, number one, we got a big problem here in America. A big problem. And that problem is we don't go to doctors. So many American Muslims are quick to say that there's a conspiracy. And I'm going to tell you who suffers with it the most are African Americans. It's because of the history. African Americans were always treated like dirt here in America and still are. You see what happened to that imam who they murdered. So a lot of African Americans, especially those African American men who are over the age of 40, because they come from like my era, the 50s, they come from out of the 60s, civil rights. The civil rights movement didn't even get into effect here in America until the 60s. So it makes sense why these brothers who are over the age of 40 feel this way. Okay? They don't go to doctors. They don't believe in health care. They don't believe in medicine. And it's a fact that when men turn the age of 40, what happens? They go through menopause. So that's what it's about. Let me put the PowerPoint. I made a PowerPoint for you, sisters. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about it. Brothers will get mad. So why is it that these African American brothers believe that they can't marry women over 40 because women over 40 are no good? It's all about male menopause. This is a fact, guys. When a man turns 40 years old, his testosterone level declines about 1% a year. And a low testosterone level in men, it often goes unnoticed because, again, most men don't go to doctors. African-American men really don't go. But they can test their testosterone level simply by taking a blood test. But even if you do go to a doctor, the doctor is not going to test your testosterone level unless you ask for it to be done. And also, guys, a lot of men who experience low testosterone, they don't have no symptoms. They're 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, still working, still playing racquetball. They ain't got no symptoms. Okay? And also, with a man, how many of you sisters are married to men with high blood pressure? How many of these men have high blood pressure? This is a big problem with African Americans. African Americans have high blood pressure problems. Well, guess what? High blood pressure and the medicine you take for that can lower a man's testosterone and put a man into male menopause. So, why is it that these men are marrying women younger than 40? Well, let's look at the signs. How many of you sisters' husbands have these signs? One of the signs and symptoms that a person's testosterone might be low is he has a reduced sexual desire. Also, ED. How many of you have heard of ED? A lot of men over the age of 40, once they turn 40, this is when the men start to experience ED. Okay? Also, how many of your husbands over the age of 40 complain about their breast? How many of your husbands over the age of 40 got little boobies like women? How many of the 50-year-old men, especially if they 50, 60, the older the man, the more the boobs come? That's a sign. That's a symptom of low testosterone. Some men, they can make a lot of babies. when they was in their 20s and 30s. Then when they get 40, 50, 60, some men will even experience infertility. How about this? Weight loss. Height loss. What does that mean? Your husband's getting shorter. Low bone density. You know, the older you get, the shorter you get because of that low bone density. How many of your husbands are having hot flashes? Sweating a lot. He's got to carry a handkerchief because he's always sweating. Yeah, men go through hot flashes. You got the air conditioner on. You got the fan going. He's sweating up a storm, especially if he has high blood pressure. High blood pressure brings about a lot of flashes. All of these are signs of low testosterone. Y'all see that? Other symptoms. Your husband's not as energetic as he used to be. How about depression? How about mood swings? Your husband can come home from work today and be in a bad mood for no reason. He yells at you. He yells at the kids. All of this happens over the age of 40. If your husband is over the age of 40 and he has any of these symptoms, you might want to go get him tested. Also, sleepiness. He's always sleepy. Or when he goes to sleep, he wakes up every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes. Also, anemia. His iron is low in his body. Also, his muscles start to become weaker. They turn it into flab. And number two, this big one is stomach. That big stomach that men get. Oh yeah, men get a gut. That over the age of 40 gut. Those are all signs, guys. Those are signs of low testosterone. And so you can connect the dots. A lot of men over the age of 40, when they go through that menopause, they don't have all the energy to do all the hard work that they used to do, literally. So they want a young wife, somebody in her 20s, somebody in her 30s that'll do all the work. He might do a few things, okay? But remember, his energy is low. And that ED can happen at the blink of an eye. So that's why they'll go and get a younger girl in her 20s, in her 30s to do all the work. Also, another reason. It's just the way Allah created us. As men turn 40 and their libido decreases. Women are the opposite. When a woman turns 40, ours increases. A woman over the age of 40, she good to go, man, especially if she done went through menopause. No menses no more. Let's go for it. Ain't got to worry about no pregnancy. Ain't got to worry about none of that crap. No cramps. Hey. She's too much for the man. The man can't handle her because where he's weak, she's stronger. And she makes him feel inferior. He don't want her to think, oh, I'm not, something wrong. I can't do what I used to do, baby. Y'all get what I'm saying? So this ain't got nothing to do with religion. There's nothing in Islam that says that women are no good after 40. Science proves that wrong. And the Sunnah of the Prophet proves that wrong. Okay? It's not a religious issue. It's a medical issue. And one thing about African American men, they don't want to go to the doctor. So you sisters have to make these brothers get their testosterone level tested And they test it through a blood test because male menopause begins at 40. By the time he's 50, he's in it. Men are in it at the age of 50. 60, they really into it. And their testosterone drops even more at the age of 60. Any doctor would tell you all this stuff. So there's a reason for everything. And 9 times out of 10, the reason ain't got nothing to do with a law and Islam. It has to do with medical stuff. Do you sisters understand that? Brother Tashri, what you laughing for? Brother look, Brother Tashri laughing, but he know I'm telling the truth. Brother Tashri, y'all know I'm telling the truth. You brothers. Hello. So don't blame it on the law. Blame it on yourself. And by the way, they do have a way of treating it. There's medicine. Like I tell y'all, just like there's medicine, Allah says every sickness comes from him. But he never sends a sickness without sending a treatment. So take the treatment. The treatment is not vitamins and all that. If you brothers with low testosterone would go to the doctor, they got pills they can give you. It's just a hormone that'll increase it. Just like we women. When women go through menopause, if it gets too bad, they got hormones they can give you to help. Thank God I don't need that stuff, you know. But some people do. I heard my great-great-grandmother needed it. I don't. But maybe you do as a man. Go to the doctor. They can give you a pill that'll increase your testosterone. Because guess what? Male menopause lasts for several years. It lasts for years. It doesn't just go away. Just like female menopause, it lasts for years. It'll come and go. It'll come and go. It'll come and go. But they got medication for it now that can help the ED. That can help with the energy. So don't try to treat yourself by taking vitamins and all that. Go see a doctor, bro. Get it checked out, because you'll find out that you have more fun with your wife who's 50 and 60 than you do with them little 20, 30-year-old girls. Because that's just the way Allah made us. Women get better in age. Men go down. Allah made us complement each other. So stop cheating yourself out of having a good woman. Because we women don't even live until we get through that menopause. Ain't nothing like that. That menses is for the birds, man. What y'all think about that? Any comments? No comments? Prayers, know what you got to say. My Zoomers are in shock. The young girls in here don't know what to say. Yeah. Brother Tajri. Goldie said they're called Asian boobies.
Oh, I said you speak the truth. Going on, break it down. Because this 75 still got it going on. You feel me, baby?
I tell you, these brothers don't know. Those brothers don't know what they're missing out on. But that's what it's about. All they got to do is go get some medicine and take care of it. You know, they'll make those Asian boobies go down too. Oh, yeah. The hormone pills that they'll give you men to take those boobies away too. You'll lose that women stuff. That stomach will get smaller too. Brother Tajri, you want to put you know you can come in the Zoom room and get on the mic, Brother Tajri. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me look. Okay, she told me look at my messenger. Let me see what she got. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna look at it. Okay. She says, what do you do if your husband won't go to the doctor? This is a sister that texted me. She said she knows that this is what's wrong with her husband. And because she's a nurse, and she said her husband won't go get it checked out. Then, hey, if your husband belongs to that Hanafiya group that thinks he's supposed to divorce you and he's just going to lose out on a good woman, what can I say? I've never heard of this group, but if he won't go get it checked out, then that's just his loss. Oh, she said that she is 30 and her husband is 55. And she said that she knows that that's his problem. And she's trying to tell him to go get help, but he don't want to man up to it. Okay, I see what you're saying. You marry, well, then you got to deal with it. You chose to marry a 60-year-old man and you 30. You deal with it. But it's not Islam. My thing is, don't blame it on Allah. We got to stop blaming everything on this religion. Allah perfected Islam and made Islam a beautiful way of life, guys. Allah is not cruel. He would never say a woman is no good at the age of 40, so divorce him. Okay? This is crazy. So y'all got to figure stuff out. You know, you in a relationship, a marriage with somebody like that, I mean, he's got a problem. But you married him. You 30 and married a 60-year-old man. You a nurse, take care of him. Yeah, she said that he won't go to the doctor at all. Then what I suggest you do, sister, is talk to the imam. Is there an imam in y'all's community who he respects? Because maybe he'll listen to another man. Because Allah says, seek treatment for sicknesses, and menopause is a sickness. It's treatable. ED is treatable. Yeah. So that's something that you're going to have to work out on your own with them. Okay, any other questions? Yes, and high blood pressure, exactly. Like this sister here's a nurse too. She said, yeah, a lot of brothers with high blood pressure, they go into that sweating and hot flashes and cold flashes. Yeah, men got, and the thing is, all this stuff can be treated. We got to encourage our husbands, encourage our men to get medical treatment, guys. Sister Goldie said she know a lot. She didn't know the sisters get young African husbands because the brothers here age fast. Must be the fried food. It's the Manilan. It's the Manilan. Those African brothers, the darker the person, the more Manilan in the skin. So they don't age. Yeah, the darker the color, the less aging you do. So that's the Manilan. But looks are deceiving. You can have all the good looks in the world, but if you got ED, yes, and we got women that suffer with that too. By the way, guys, there are some women that go through that too. When they're going through menopause, some sisters, they become frigid. It's called frigidity. Well, they got medicine for that too. If you're one of those women that's frigid, there's medicine for that too. Allah has a treatment for everything, not just the COVID. It's a treatment for everything, not just the COVID. Exactly. Exactly. Like Sister Mina said, the game is not over. Brothers, just go to the doctor. Exactly. Get some treatment. It's normal. Part of life. Sarah, Sarah. Yeah, any questions in the Zoom room, family? Is she in there? Yeah.
No, but I see one question from Brother Ahmad.
Okay.
Earlier he said, question on regarding prayer in Prophet's Mosque. So you will get reward wherever you pray in his mosque. There's no specific place to get more reward. Many people say pray in Riyaz or Jannah is peace of paradise. It was sent down to the earth. It never made sense to me.
What is he talking about? He talking about the same thing she talking about? What are they
I
talking?
think so.
What are they talking about? Brother Ahmad, where are you at? Because Brother Ahmad can explain me what's going on here. Brother Ahmad, what is she talking about? Because see, I don't speak Indian. I don't speak Urdu. Is Brother Ahmad still here? He can explain what she's talking about better. Brother Ahmad, what is this? What is this stuff they talking about? I'm going to see if I can. Okay, I see what they're talking about. Okay. Hold on for a second. I got to Google it. I'm Googling it. Hold on, guys. Oh, that's what they're talking about. Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, let me tell y'all something. Y'all can forget that because they ain't going to let you go down there. That's what they talking about this here, y'all. I wish I could show you the picture of this part of the mosque there during the Hajj season. It's not possible. They saying here you can't even get in there, especially during the Hajj season. So y'all can forget that. That ain't going to happen. Oh, I see what they talking about. That's a tourist thing. Oh, no. You ain't going to be able. Brother Ahmad, to answer your question, anywhere you pray in the Prophet's mosque is more rewarding than any other mosque. But I see what she was asking about now. I had to Google it. Okay, any part of the Prophet, a man's prayer in the Prophet's mosque is 1,000 times better than any other prayer anywhere else. It doesn't matter where you are in his mosque. Okay? But she's talking about that part down there. Oh, no, they're not going to let you down there anyway. They don't let nobody down there. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know what they were talking about. Okay, but now they know. I don't speak Urdu. And the way they had that typed, I didn't know what they were talking about. Yes, I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, next question. Any other questions? Yes, go ahead. I can see it. You're on LinkedIn. Go ahead. I can see you. Okay, this is a question that I answered before, but yes, when it comes to the lawful and the unlawful, guys, you have to remember only Allah has the authority to tell you that something is haram. And Allah doesn't forget, nor does Allah make any mistakes. When it comes to relations, between you and your husband, everything is permissible except for two things: anal and menses. That's it. You cannot be on your menses and there cannot be any back action. Other than that, everything is permissible with you and your husband. Okay. Okay, well, if somebody told you that, tell them to bring the evidence. There's nothing that says that. The Prophet Allah says in the Quran that your wife is a tilth unto you. You can approach your tilth however you want, except for the anus and menses. That's what Allah says. So whoever told you this, tell them to bring the dalil. that says you can't do that. And I'm so glad nobody can see your typing but me. But it's okay, sister. You good. You're on LinkedIn. Yeah. Only person can see you is me. Oh, God. I shouldn't have told her that. Okay. Well, you got more questions? Type them. Okay. You just got married? Well, may Allah bless you and your husband. May Allah make your marriage very fruitful and make Allah bring happiness and contentment to you and your husband. I mean, I'm happy for you, sweetie. She says she was too embarrassed to ask her mother. Okay, that's fine. Well, I just answered it for you. Yes, that's fine. You can do that. Mm-hmm. Yes, he can too. Yes. You're welcome, sweetheart. She says she was embarrassed to ask her mother. Okay. Okay, here's another question here. Hold on, let me see it. I can put this one, I can see. Let me put it up here. We can see. Alhamdulillah, I have increased my understanding through Sister Laila's class, Get to Know Your Lord. I'm trying to obtain the previous recordings of the class to go over the class. Okay. Tell her that she can go to there in the playlist on YouTube. In fact, let me give you guys the direct link because I don't want any of my new shahadas to miss out. I'm going to give her, and you can, I'm going to copy the direct link and you can copy and paste it to her. Hold on, because sometimes it, yeah, I know some of the sisters have a hard time finding. Here it is right here. Here's the playlist. Let me copy and paste the whole list. Can you give this to her? Okay, can y'all see that? That's the playlist for the Get to Know Allah. That's the Get to Know a Lord link. That's the playlist for all the classes. Okay. Just thought there's a different way to obtain and save. Thought I've been Muslim for many years. I actually feel that now. Alhamdulillah. 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 May Allah bless you, sister. I mean, yeah, you can download them. You can feel free to download the lectures, guys. Yeah, download them and save them. Okay. Tell her if she's talking about how to download off of YouTube, tell her she's going to have to Google and try to find a download program unless she's a premium or whatever. Everything is paid for nowadays. Nowadays on the internet, they want you to pay for everything. You have to pay for a program to download stuff. Oh, yeah. It's the internet. And by the way, guys, let me remind everyone that we're desperately in need of donations to support this dawah effort. You know, please, guys, the first of the month is in a couple of days, and we have to start all over again to get the monthly expenses for this website. And it's ridiculous. So please, guys, send in your donations this weekend. So whatever is going to come out tomorrow, okay, let me type this. I will be there at 12, inshallah. Okay. By the way, is Latifa listening to me? Latifa, they got the grand opening for Izzy tomorrow, inshallah. I'll be there at 12. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay, yes, we talked about that the other day. Okay, the sister here is talking about the prayer again. Okay, this is fine. I mean, remember the sunnahs. Exactly. The sunnahs are the things that if you forget, your prayer is still accepted. So you forgot to say, Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Your prayer is accepted. Exactly. That's a sunnah. It's not a pillar. Okay, she said the brother told her that it was a pillar. It's not. Yeah, the raising of the hands and the saying of Sami Allahu liman hamidan is not a pillar of the prayer. It's a sunnah of the prayer. Yeah, so your prayer was accepted. Yes. Wa alaikum salam, Brother Perry. Yes, it was accepted. Alhamdulillah. Any questions in Zoom? Okay, here's another one from Rumble. Go ahead. MashaAllah. Okay, this person said, I just joined your Reddit group. Okay, waiting for them to finish typing. I just joined your Reddit group. Where can I get the book for the classes? Okay, alhamdulillah, all the books are on Amazon. You want to get, I'm going to type them, Know Your Lord, the Maqasid Tafsir. Both of these are by Kareem Abu Zaid. I'm typing them there. You see that? You're on Rumble, so you should be able to. Can you see me on Rumble? The typing? Okay. Yeah, those are on Amazon. And then you want to also get the book called Dunya and the Sacred Bonds. This is by my student, Brother Abdullah Kirk. This is the other two books we're using. That's also on Amazon. Dunya and the Sacred Bonds by Daryl Abdullah Kirk. And then Know Your Lord and the Maqasid Tafsir, Volume 1 by Kareem Abu Zaid. Okay, good. Believe it or not, this website's been around a long time, brother. We've been around since 1986. Yeah, I've been teaching Islam on the internet since 1986. It's just that I'm streaming everywhere now. And I just made that Reddit page a couple of months ago. By the way, guys, for those of you who are not on our Reddit list, go to Reddit and the name of the channel is Protectors of Sunnah. Protectors of Sunnah. That's our Reddit channel. I only got 5 subscribers, but what's going on is that the other Muslim groups on Reddit are referring the new shahadas to me because they know I'm streaming live. So which is nice. They're referring to new shahadas. Okay. But I'm going to let you know I'm not a Shiite because I did notice a lot of those people on Reddit are Shiites. I am not Shiite. This is not Shiite. So I'm letting you know, brother, if you're a Shiite, this ain't the place for you. A lot of the Reddit people are Shiites. Okay. It's a big difference. Okay. Yes. Yeah, just yeah. So you can get them all off of Amazon, inshallah, bro. And yeah, my classes are every day at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have other classes too with Dr. Ibrahim Jamali, Sheikh Saud, Brother Mukhtar. And by the way, guys, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the new shahadas too, pay attention. At 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sister Samat will be here to teach the names of Allah at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have Dr. Asim. Dr. Asim will be, inshallah, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you have Brother Hanif. Inshallah, Brother Hanif will be at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then my class at 9:30. Yeah. So a lot of classes tomorrow. Okay. Okay, alhamdulillah. Brother Tajri, you didn't have no comments to make about what I had to say about the testosterone? Walaikum salam, Sister Pamela. Yeah, any other questions? Just type them, guys, because we got about 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Because tomorrow.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Now, if your husband then got into an argument with somebody and he ain't right, do you have to have his back?
Kind of question. That's not no Islamic question.
Well, you're supposed to have your husband's back. Isn't that Islamic?
But if he wrong, we remember we enjoin the good and forbid the evil. If somebody wrong, we don't support them in evil.
No matter who he is, right? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, we don't support that which is evil. Remember, Allah says in the Quran, even if it be against yourself, your family. So your husband is your family. If your husband wrong, you don't support him in it. Everybody understand that? That's a good question, because a lot of us don't know when to draw the line. New shahadas, we don't know when to draw the line. We support that which is good, and we stand against that which is evil, even if it's against ourselves, against our family. If your husband or your wife is doing something that they shouldn't do, you don't support them in it. If your husband's robbing or stealing, we don't support that. If your wife is out there and not wearing hijab, you don't support that. You know, we got to stand for what's right, what's good, what's clean. Everybody understand? So that's a good question. And it's hard to do. We have to draw the line. And that's the problem I see here in America with a lot of these daya. You know, they don't know how to draw the line with their friendships. Your friend, you see that your friend has taken on a different path other than the path of Allah. Instead of you trying to call him back to the right path, you letting him pull you into his path. This is bad. That's bad. And that's a big problem here in the West. Yeah. Okay, a couple of more minutes. Any other questions? Come on with it, because I'm going to log out, because tomorrow we got at 10 o'clock, we have Sister Samat. And we have to be here for her stream. By the way, is Awa here? Sister Awa? Fame, are you going to be here tomorrow? Or be around tomorrow? Fame?
We usually don't wake up early on a weekend.
No, not 10 o'clock. I'm talking about like around 4 for Dr. Asim.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if something happens, because in fact, I'll probably take my laptop with me. That's okay, I'll take my laptop. Because one of my best friend, her son just opened up a restaurant and I want to be there for his grand opening, but I can take my laptop with me and I'll just log in from there if I have to. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah, okay, well, alhamdulillah, this was a good Q&A, short to the point. I gave y'all some food for thought. We have to be careful. You know, the 4 imams were good men. You know, they tried to call the people to the Sunnah. They tried to call the people to the understanding of the companions. You know, it was when after they died, their students of the students of the students of them are the ones that came up with a lot of this crazy stuff. Okay, it's not the 4 imams. And remember, here in America, the Hanafiya, that's one of the Murjiya groups, which is a branch of those Mu'tazila. Okay, they got some crazy beliefs, man. They don't believe that faith and action, that faith is influenced by your actions. That's crazy enough right there. You know, so anything that's not based on what the prophet said or what the companion said, you know, we don't deal with. So don't blame it on Allah because you got a husband or somebody is misrepresenting Islam. You blame it on that person for misrepresenting Allah and misrepresenting Islam. And if you don't know, continue to do what you guys did. Ask the people of knowledge. That's what the Prophet ﷺ said. If it's something that you don't know, ask the people of knowledge. And I'm glad you sisters brought this question here because I've never heard of this group either. I've never heard of men not marrying women over 40. I've never heard that before in my life. But alhamdulillah, Dr. Jamali was able to clarify what that is. It's not a Mathab. Okay. And it's a medical thing. It's a medical problem with these brothers. So try to get your husbands to go to the doctor, especially African-American men. All right. Inshallah, guys, I'm going to close out for tonight. Tomorrow, make sure everybody is here at 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. We have Sister Samat, who will be teaching the names of Allah. I'm going to close out for now. Please support this dawah effort. We are desperately in need of donations so we can still continue to bring classes to you free of charge, just like this all over the world streaming. So please support us. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Have a good night.